So Everton got a 10 points deduction, but still, they're 19th in the Prem due to Burnley. Vincent Kompany has not had his luck this season, and his team look destined for the championship. We cannot be having that again for him, so today, we're going to try and save Burnley with a huge twist. We are going to be, of course, having the aim of winning the UCL, but the two other aims are quite difficult. We have to accept every transfer offer for a player that isn't from Belgium. That's right, a player that isn't from the country that Kompany's from, and we can only sign Belgian players, kind of making our team into, of course, the Belgium team. It's going to be some test, but it's a new concept, of course, and we need a new tactic to try and survive with this team in the Premier League. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to go for the pressing approach. The gegenpress, of course, Kompany trying to mimic Guardiola. Another reason this is going to be interesting is because we don't have many players from Belgium already. We've got El Dakil, the only one in the starting 11. We have Trezor, who's on loan. We have Benson, Manuel. Who else do we have, actually? We have Delcroix. And I believe that is it. And to try and make this a little bit easier on us, it probably won't, but we have sent our scout to Belgium. If you don't know on this channel already, we do one yearly intake with the best 5-star scout, and we only set it to the country we're coaching in. So it should be England, but we're going Belgium. As for everybody else in our squad, you can see right here, it is literally the entire squad. I've transfer listed them all. Of course, all won't leave in the first window, and some may play. We've got to get Belgian players in and out, but it doesn't say we need a full Belgium 11 before the first game. Besides, we don't have that much cash. We have 30 million, which I think is quite rough in the Premier League. Still, it will give us a good standing point to get our first players in. And we've got to be smart about this. We will be changing our formation, and of course, like now, we'll be looking into some old boys. The money won't be serious straight away. So welcome Toby Alderweireld. For just under 10 million, we have an 81 rated Belgian player. I think that's very smart, and I think I've got a decision to make. Toby, we used to play together in the Belgium national squad. Will you be my Burnley captain in the Prem? And of course he will. He will take that armband with absolute ease. Welcome to the club, my friend. He will actually go onto the left-hand side. We've got Delcroix moving to left back as I want to play this formation. Trezor is only on loan. I think if we survive season number 1, we should get the funds to permanently buy him next year. Benson Manuel on the right. I'm not actually planning on a striker. I'm planning on another winger, as this man's cost a little bit more than I expected to pay for him, but he is good news. Welcome to Burnley, Johan Bakayoko from PSV Eindhoven. We've gone from old to young. This lad, for a right winger, he has a very good left foot. He's left-footed, and he's only 20 years of age. Him and Manuel supporting Amdouni, of course, for the time being. Unfortunately, I can't get the striker I want. It is very good news, but with the players, we can still get a younger gem as well. This man potentially could go up front. It's Julian Duranville of Dortmund. Now, his shooting isn't the best. It's definitely his pace that's the main trait. But Duranville, will you do a job up front for me? Oh, he's a bit skeptical, but he says he'll give it a go. Love that, love that. He's saying it'll take 73 weeks. Right, I'm going to put him on that, but also I've got myself thinking maybe a loan deal. But now we've got focused on attackers, we need to try and step back a little bit and focus on keeping the goals out. And that's where this man comes along. We have signed Martin van der Voort, a very good player, going straight in the goal, an improvement on Trafford. But one thing we have to realise about this challenge, which is why I included it, because it's tricky. Once we sell a player, it might not be in the same position we buy a player. For example, we lost Connor Roberts, who's a right back, but Van der Voort's coming as a goalkeeper. We have a weaker right back, but a stronger goalkeeper. It's a weird one, but I love it. We've got 43 million. That's actually more than I thought we had. But if you do want to know where it's from, here are the outgoings. They're only little fees some places, but all these fees add up. And in mention of Connor Roberts, boy, there's a lot of signings going on here. I'm desperate to avoid relegation, so in comes Timothy Castagna. We need someone youthful around those at the back, and of course Aldekil and Duquois aren't the best. As speaking of youth, yet another player through the door, Arnie Engels, who looks a brilliant player by the way, and to round it out, we stop in there, Kylian Sardella. I would have signed 2 more if I could. Honestly, I had 2 racked up, but they were both out on loan. I think that's a very good first window, and there we have it. That's what we've built so far. I mean, it is weak up front. If we lose Larson to a loan deal halfway through, We know we're replacing him. That is transfer-wise as well. As our first game of the season, I skipped straight into it. I thought catching it out would catch a result. We had Manchester City, Kompany's old side, and we lost 2-1. And here we are, simming through deadline day. We made it without losing any more players. It does leave a kind of weakish bench. I don't care if these players get played off the bench as well. But apart from that, that squad is ready to go into its first Premier League campaign. And after simming halfway through, we're back on accepting everything. That's a message I didn't want to see. Larsson has been recalled as we have an FA Cup game in a derby against Blackburn, and ooh, thank you for Brentford. We are away from the teams that got promoted with us, but it is 1 point that separates us from relegation places. That doesn't sound fun to me. And this team is very weird because we've got an improvement in Ekdal, Bayer, and Al-Dakil, but he's very unhappy. Boss, can you sell some centre-backs, please? I want my place here, and I've proved I'm worthy of it. Well, yes, you have, and also, it would defeat the objective if we sold you, so I'm going to try and get rid of Bayer and Ekdal. I mean, they are on the transfer list. El Quas trained to be a left-back, and he is a very capable one. Engels has got improvement as well. Alderweireld is going down. But we know what we've got to do in this transfer window, and that is sell players and sign a striker. And after accepting bids for Etkal, Bayer, O'Shea, we can bring in a striker and keep Al-Dakil happy. And I believe you might have recognised that striker by the bun. It's Michy Batshuayi, Batman, the man who slams balls into the post and hits himself in the face. He joins us, players will still be going out the door, and he costs 13 million. Will that be unlucky for him like it is unlucky for some? And results-wise, come the end, I can see we've beaten teams like Sheffield United who will be down there. We've also got a cup game we lost 3-0 in April. I think that's a semi-final. But did we overall survive? Yes, we did. 40 points. The magic Premier League number. Vincent Kompany will keep his new Belgium team, fully Belgium, by the way, in the Premier League for season number 1. FA Cup. Yes, it was a defeat. Good luck to the Wolfpack there. We've made a lot of signings. Got some unhappy faces. But first things first, please. Yes, Toby will stay. Mike Trezor is only on loan, and he's the only player we'll lose. We might revisit that next year, or it might take time from selling players, as our highest rated only 79 to be fair. Wout Weghorst was out on loan, 77. Oh, and Duranville's already made it to 75. His loan deal was good, as Johan Bakayoko has been good for us. He was top scorer. Batshuayi got 5, but you never know. Maybe those 5 was 5 goals to save us from relegation. And this is what we're left with for season number 2. It's good, and I thought I'd sold centre-backs last year. I actually didn't manage to get rid of some. Bayer's still here. O'Shea. It was only Exile that we actually sold. Trafford. They must have all broke down. Weghorst is back to sell. And I'm genuinely an idiot. I've been saying it's a full Belgium team. Sander Berge is hidden in the midfield. Is it Berge? I never know how you say that, but 43 million this season. That is decent. Now, we know we've got to get a midfielder to complete the Belgium team. I have one in mind as the other signing. Could it be Trezor back? And we've done our promotion from the youth academy. Lads, or lads should I say, who are the lads you're bringing in? 3 goalkeepers and they're all crap. I think it was Carter Gregory, my scout's name. Sort it out. Embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. But this next season isn't. He's actually a very good player. A very capable player for 10.4 million is Mandela Keita. I thought I had another midfielder on that bench. Oh, well, must be some kind of Mandela effect. That was an awful joke. I don't even know if it makes sense, but I have seen this man before. Is that a melody? I'm not even going to try and make a joke on the Mandela effect. I'm done with puns. I'm retiring as this man is coming out of his Burnley retirement back to the club. It is Mike Trezor. We have sold a lot of players to get this man back. We still have a bit of money. You can see a lot's moved on now, and Weghorst still to sell. And when I said I've been selling players, look how many in particular. All these add up. That's 12 million, 16, 20. I mean, oh yeah, about 25. Yeah, something around that. Look at that. 34 million left to be precise. And here is the next man we're going to use that 34 million on. It has absolutely bankrupt Burnley. We'll probably have to check in with the owner very soon as Charles Di Kettilare. What a signing. Welcome to the club, mate. You have a huge job to do here at Burnley, and I'm going to try and change you to the world's best striker. Yes, sorry, Batshuayi. You heard me correctly. He is a cam, but we've got to change him back to a striker. With Trezor behind him in front, and this whole Belgian team, we are ready for the Prem. As our first game, we're not going to dance over. We're actually going to simulate it properly. It is Everton and that team. I'm feeling rather confident. Of course, players have got to merge into their positions. Patterson has scored a brace, and Dobbin has scored the other one. Not too great, that, lads. I expect a little bit more. I think they will give me a bit more. We've got some backup on the bench. I'll try and make this all Belgian. I mean, I could switch them round now, but I'm not going to. No one's come in for Bastian. He's still here. Same with Peacock, Farrell, and Bayer, surprisingly. So they're going to keep coming off the bench to try and help us until they leave. And looking at the team, it says unhappy, but it's a very good team. We've got now 480 rated, 3 in the attacking trio or quad up front. I'll count Duranville, who's 79 rated himself. He's come on leaps and bounds. But Engels, Keita, they're very young. Dakil, Lecroix, Van der Voort, and of course, Toby's going down. He's our captain still, though, as centrally we are 16th in the league. No. We must have someone not scoring goals. Millwall are in the top division. They are bottom of the league. They reached the semi-finals of the FA Cup like us last year. That's absolutely bamboozling. But I want to check goal scorers for where we are. We can see Trezor's our best player, but Michy Batshuayi is top scorer. Oh, Charles. Oh, Charlie boy. You've got to get scoring next season, my friend. You're outscored by Duranville, Bakayoko again, and Trezor. He doesn't lead the way for assists, though. Arnie Engels does from midfield. He's got no goals. Same with Castagna. And we've just got to trust the team. Trust that it can get on with it because we have no money. And please tell me we're safe. Ooh, we are. We are 16th, so we finished where we finished before. We really need to kick on as a team now. We've got all the Belgian big guns in, and I doubt that we've made an FA Cup semi-final again. No, we don't. We actually made a quarter-final, though. Interesting, as Toby's got to go next season. That's one position already made up for us, as we're almost 80 everywhere. Another midfielder in this team. Engels will surely grow. Same with the defensive lot. It's getting exciting. It's getting very exciting. Of course, we'll keep going with the academy, but it's quite poor. We will keep on signing the players we've signed, and we will keep on scoring with Michy Batshuayi. And this year, it is so dire that the game has spawned in real-life players to fill out our squad. I mean, first team-wise, we haven't lost anybody, but I'm pretty sure Bastian and Marcel Lewis left at the end of their contract. We do still have Bayer, and we've probably got more money from them leaving. I think because their contracts have run out, it should add more to the overall budget, and I absolutely love that fact. So let's get going. Even though it is 64 million, we'll be savvy with the signings. A great man to sit on the bench. Welcome to the club from his release, Leandro Dendoncker, as he's also going to be bringing an ex-teammate across. Now, this guy's fallen out with Unai Emery. Also, I believe. Welcome to the club, Yuri Elements. He has broke most of that budget down, but it still leaves room for one player. Yes, I'm burning most of the budget, and this guy isn't high rated, but he will grow into one. Very excited to introduce a replacement for Bayer, which is Finn Bernard. And I didn't even have to mention how bad his youth academy was, because it was bad, our intake, so we might as well cut it off. Use every penny for this team like we have done. Sorry to Keita. He is out. Yuri Tielemans gets his chance. Yuri, you've got to behave in this team. It will be your last chance in claret and blue. Of course, alluding to his days at Villa, as here we go. We face a Chelsea side on the first day. There is, of course, one Belgian player I would like to have in my team from Chelsea, which is Roman Lavia, as we get a draw. Well in, Duranville. He's actually been so good. It's like a year and a half since we signed him, and he's already higher rated than Charles. Unbelievable, Jeff. Now, with this team, with so much potential, screw it. Let's shoot for a Conference League spot. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but the ratings, can we just pause and say the ratings? I know we've got a mod on for growth, especially in youth players or regen players, but Bernard, he got the captain's armband from Alderweireld at the age of 20, and he's 84. Phenomenal what we've done here with Burnley as league position. European football, they of course had a stint under Sean Dyche before, and we're only 8 points off Liverpool, top of the league. We're 2 points off Manchester City. Could Kompany really do that to Guardiola? And what a final month that is. What a final month. What is that? What is this? I'm not even going to act shocked. I'm not even going to act shocked. To win the league on 74 points, scoring less goals than 4th position Manchester United, but to win the league on 74 points, that is unreal. Unreal. 6 losses and we won the league. 11 draws. And Burnley are Premier League champions. That is a trophy I didn't expect to put in the cabinet. Champions League football, not just Europe. I am utterly shocked. That has to be one of the biggest things to ever happen in career mode for me. Genuinely. We've got one player over the rating of 86, because there is an 85 in Bakayoko there. Trezor must have done some damage. Can we actually win the Champions League? Can we win the Champions League? Look at that. Ratings aren't out of this world. They're not. But it was 21 goals for the man who still needs to change to an attacking midfielder. Or maybe we just don't because he's that good without it. Jonan Bakayoko with 18. Tielemans is taking his shot. I said it might be his last chance in claret and blue. But he's going to take Burnley into the Champions League. And of course, he's lifted the Premier League with it. And how much money have Burnley got? Given 167 million for winning the Premier League. Now, if you ask me, it isn't enough. I want more. I'm only joking, of course. We need defenders, a goalkeeper, and some big improvements. Kompany's gonna speak to Trezor as well. Thank you for lifting this team with your goals. Is there anyone you think could improve the squad? He's gonna say midfield behind him. Engels is good for assists, but he doesn't contribute with goals. And I think we found the player with the biggest balance of assists and goals. And I can't believe I'm seeing this graphic of him signing for Burnley. He's of course got a little bit older, but welcome to his ex-teammates club. Kevin De Bruyne is in the kit of Burnley with a golden Prem badge. Unreal. Welcome, KDB. Welcome. So what I'm going to do first, before we sign the big gun, is I'm going to be a little bit scummy, I guess you could call it. Signing free agents to fill in the bench. That last guy was a centre-half, and now this man, I think, is a goalkeeper. Tom... and I'm not even going to pronounce that second name. And there's some technicalities in the contract. So whilst you play the guessing game, I don't know, leave it in the comments below. We will be facing Bournemouth. The new man who's going to cost us 88 million is not here yet as league champions. Play like league champions. And finally, we've got our man through the door. If you said striker, you were correct. But if you said Lukaku, who he was close to signing, but then I remembered his Manchester United semi-loyalty. And as Kompany's a City man, he opted for Luis Openda. The very tall man from Leipzig joins for the rest of the money. It was 94 million to be exact, as Duranville's got to come out. I'm going to alter it that way. Trezor now on the wing. He told me to sign midfielders, and now he's on the wing as Dirk Litare goes back to that attacking midfield. And that is a team worthy of putting up a champs fight. And of course, let's see if we can hold on to the Premier League. I don't think we will, as our Champions League group is Juve, Bilbao and Besiktas. 3 big teams from 3 big footballing nations, and we've got to hope we can win this group. As halfway through, it is a fall from grace in the Premier League. We've gone to 8th. And only on 29 points. I mean, it is level with Chelsea. We're not doing all bad. I mean, it is bad. I didn't even check the Community Shield. We lost 2-1 to Arsenal as Champions League. We got through. We actually won the group. Like I said as well, 9 points, though, is not a big margin. Juventus are out as well. Good for us, actually. Good for us. There's Ajax, the kit I've got on, just beneath our game against Marseille. And I've got to say, I'm very happy with the draw, which I think we'll jump straight into. We've got 9 million to spend, and I don't know why it was in euros, as the team is shattered, but the ratings are shattering the roof. De Bruyne understandably on the way down, but an 86 Van der Voort, Bernard, anti-element. These are all fine and dandy, but we've got to make sure we do it against this team we face first. J. Ramsey. That's the brother, isn't it? That's not the Ramsey that we had. If it was, I'd really not want to play against him. You all know what happens when a player faces his former club. We are out, or without, should I say, Charles de Kelitare. I'm probably butchering that name as the first leg. Oh no, Ramsey actually scored as well. That was slightly embarrassing, of course, but we've got to hope that we can do it at Turf Moor. Please, lads, please. Oh, that's us through. Yes, I didn't even realise. I didn't even look at the aggregate. 5 goals. T-Element, Apenda got 4 of them. Apenda got 4. What a way to do it. 7 goals as we face Inter Milan. Full of confidence, and surely we'll be up for this. Of course, Charles hates Milan, being an AC lad himself. Had some very decent players. Oh, and it is a 3-1 win. With Charles scoring, we may be on for a semi-final. This could be genuinely very exciting. A very fatigued squad for the second leg, and we just squeezed through, to be fair. Inter putting up a fight like we did against Marseille, but you've got to score a high amount of goals to outsmart the opponent. And I'm genuinely buzzing. It's a semi-final of the FA Cup, but who are we going to face? It hasn't shown up yet. We will just sim on. And it's City in the Champions League. And then it looks like we got to the final, but it's City in that. Come on then, citizens. You don't have Kevin De Bruyne on your team no more. And I think that... Well, look, I'm going to say it's weak, but... I can't see where it is weak. Can say our team's strong as well, but it's Manchester City we're against. That's... Oh my days! Oh, we've had 4 shots each. We've been dominated on possession, but Alderkiel and Openda the hero. Could it be, what has it been, 4 seasons with Burnley and a Champions League and a Premier League win whilst building a squad with one nation? Surely has to go up there in the records of rebuilds, and we're in the final. The final's going to have immense pressure on it, but we are in the final. That's the hardest team we've faced, but we had to come back against Marseille into 5-4 and Manchester City 4-2. It will be either Milan, Kelitare's old team, or Leipzig, or Penda's old boys. As it's going to be Milan. Milan are the team we face, so it's Charles's old team. To be fair, I don't mind it. Premier League, I mind that. I really mind it because it's awful and I've got to try and do better next year. If we fail to win this game as well, we won't have any European football as we lost to City. I know that's a trophy we're missing out on, but I would have rather won the finals, or the semi-finals, should I say. Because now we're in that final. Carabao Cup as well. Fulham won the whole thing, and they beat us in the semi-final. So we've come very close to a trophy. Again, we're close to a trophy in this competition, so I think if we lose this, despite winning the Premier League last season, Burnley become the biggest bottle jobs ever with the team that's ratings are like this, and with a 27 goal a season player in Mike Trezor, we have got to be winning this game at Old Trafford as well. So you've got to say we hold an advantage. Burnley not too far from Manchester. Milan, of course, have had to come overseas, and we shall make sure they go back to Italy very, very unhappy. The only bad thing about playing Milan, though, is, of course, they've travelled, they've got their home kit, and it's an away kit in the Champions League final, a chance to make history, and we're not in the home kit. That's an offside. Not a great move, but let's try and make a great move here. Here is Mike Trezor. Fancy footwork. He's not in attacking midfield anymore, but whoa! Going through the team and getting absolutely clattered by Tomori. Him and Martinez at the back. So they have Lissandro, who's played here before, as we was going to try and hit that with Bernardo, and a bad idea, because now they can run at us. Theo Hernandez, he's got some pace for a left wing back, of course. I'm guessing he's playing there as Liao, who's coming to replace his old teammate Charles. Up top, and Bakayoko now. End-to-end stuff this. Stole the ball back again, and Hakimi They must have some solid defense. Goncalo Ramos. The scare comes from Milan as Delcourt running down the wing. He will get the throw-in into Bakayoko. Just get running in front, Delcourt. Can we get someone in the middle? Maybe Charles, but he's over here. And can Charles try and strike that? It's not very good. Got to be better than that in this future right here as Alderkill. Good tackle. Kevin De Bruyne, a Man City player, playing at Old Trafford for one of the most important games of his career as Charles is released. This could be an important goal, but he's forced way too far out wide, but he got the shot off. Did better in a confined space than he did, of course, with all the space in the world, as Openda gonna find De Bruyne this time, had a run through. Instead, we'll go backwards and we'll win the corner. Kind of entertaining game. It needs to be more entertaining, though. Kevin De Bruyne from the corner. No one wins the header. Backwards into Mike Trezor. And no way as the referee. I think he's pointing to the spot. It hasn't even shown the replay, but of course, I have got nothing in this game that can cheat. Don't you worry. Trezor. Are we going to give him it? I think we've got to give it to this man. He didn't win it like Trezor did, but KDB in front of the Stretford end, and he strikes Burnley in front in the Champions League final. Vincent Kompany will be absolutely buzzing with his ex-teammate. What a goal for the Clarets, and I've got to say, urine-coloured kit. What a placement. Mike Nyagan, if he stuck his hands out, you never know, though. He could have saved that. A special goal, as that marks the last action, really, before half-time. And to half-time, we shall go. We know from the Goncalo Ramos strike earlier on in the game, they can cause a threat. So in their faces, come on, lads, let's go. We've got to be very careful, because it seems like every single ball they've hit towards our net is with real venom. Takes one to be drilled in correctly, but we'll take these little fouls that they're giving a... Oh, it's not a little foul. It's a red card. Was that really a red card? Again, it's not showing the replay, but I mean, I'll take it. It should be safe for the rest of this game. And De Bruyne with a chip inside. It looks like they're a defender light. Pushing bodies forward. Bakayoko. Bakayoko a bit greedy. And Goncalo Ramos to try and run away. We've put a hefty challenge on him, but he's got to beat Bernard. He's been solid so far this game. And I think that's Bernard going. Is this another red card in this game? It's been a feisty one. I mean, how we've got a yellow card for that and they've got a red, I will never know. But we'll take the extra man. And they didn't score from the free kick. Just too much over the bar. We're really being pushed back now. Look at the pressure. Managed to just hoof the ball upfield, though. And I will take another hoof. Please, if we can get one. Ball out to Leao. Not long left in the game now. We're into added time, and it may be just a penalty that saves us. Ketelare goes into the book. But please, in a quite lively final here at Old Trafford, just blow the whistle, referee, and there we go. Openda, who didn't do anything in the final, we must say, sees it out as Burnley are champions of the Champions League. What a save it has been. It's going to be, of course, Finn Bernard, the regen, to lift this trophy. He's been absolutely class, and he should have been off the field, but instead, with the strap around his wrist, he is lifting it up into that sky. I hope that wrap around his wrist isn't putting pressure on his injury on his hand because of that huge trophy. As if you do want to see your team lifting that huge trophy or a full series rebuild, check out more MWS. But I will see you guys all in the future. Leave the comments down below of your team, and I'll see you then.